Another wonderful week for restaurants across the Tennessee Valley. While there were no failing scores to report this week, undercooked chicken did land one restaurant in Cleveland to get pretty close. Wendy's on McGrady Drive scored a 74 this week. The inspector noted that a lot of raw food in the restaurant, including the grilled chicken and eggs, that were being held out of the cooler. The men's restroom was visibly dirty, as the wall near the trash can was. An employee did not wash their hands after they entered the kitchen and began prepping chicken nuggets. That's according to the inspector. Cleaning bottles with chemicals were stored facing employees' gloves. The inspector said an employee did not change their gloves and wash their hands between handling raw chicken and working with cooked food. Again, a 74 is not a failing score.
Now let me ask y'all something. Do you think they wash their hands after petting their dog? Do you think dog lovers view their dogs as dirty? Remember, they kiss these dogs, allow them to lick their faces. I think it's hard to argue that dog owners would think it's necessary to wash their hands after petting their dogs and, let's say, reaching out to shake your hand, putting their hand on you, period. These are just nasty people who get far too close and personal when they want to talk to you, and they always want to touch you. Now, out at these restaurants, remember, they have found out that in several of these restaurants, there are actually dogs in the kitchen.
Tonight, some popular lunch spots making the restaurant report card.
Each week, consumer reporter Bill McGinty combs through the health department reports looking for violations that can make you sick. And some of those violations even happen at places with an A grade.
First up this week, Lenny's Sub Shop, which is on South Tryon. Now their grade is a 90, which is still an A. One of the employees here was seen touching ready-to-eat food like the bread, but didn't wash before, even after handling raw chicken. And their sanitizer was a little weak, meaning that it might have been ineffective in killing germs from wiping down the counters, the tables, and the floors. Also, some of their employees weren't wearing head coverings. That prevents hair from falling onto your food.
Not just hair, people. That dander that's all in the atmosphere gets into their hair, and they bring it right to work with them. Why do you think the workplace, the atmosphere is contaminated with dander? It's because people get there and the dander is all over their body and in their hair.
Again, their grade here at this location, a 90. Luigi's Pizza is also on the report card this week, and they too had hand washing issues. Believe it or not, there is a right way and a wrong way to wash your hands. And they were storing raw beef in with the ready-to-eat produce. Raw and cooked foods have got to be kept separate. Also, their cooked pasta, made to be served later, wasn't cooling fast enough, so they had to throw it out. Their grade here also...
Just nasty. And why are you giving them a 90? You got people there not washing their hands. You fail. I ain't going into that restaurant. Are you crazy? No, thank you.
On the cafeteria at Silverdale Detention Center in Chattanooga scored a 62. The inspector said food workers were not seen washing their hands during the inspection. Spoiled beans were being served, and food that was prepared the day prior was not being date marked. Now, according to the inspector, rodent droppings were seen in the dry storage room. Floors are dirty in several areas of the kitchen. The sanitizer containers were found by the inspector to not have any sanitizer in the buckets. The inspector said the person in charge was not in control of multiple food safety risk factors. The inspector suggests the managers should get certified in a food safety course. Now, the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office says they have a plan in place with their food vendor. The sheriff's office says the vendor Aramark had operational issues that
There's a guy who works at my job. His hands are always dirty. And I mean extremely dirty. He never washes his hands. One day I saw him, and as always, his hands were filthy, nasty. I mean visible dirt, because, you know, the job is a dirty job. I saw him one day, hands dirty, and he was eating a sandwich with his bare hands. I asked him about it. I said, man, why would you do that when you got visible dirt on your hands? And this guy is from Yemen. He gave me some stupid answer like building his immune system, right? Putting nasty stuff in his mouth so that he's able to handle it, so that it won't make him something real nasty and degenerate. This guy also slaughters his own goats. So you already know what's going on. He's coming to work with goat on his hands, goat guts, all types of viruses, bacteria, and whatnot. Sorry about that. I'm not trying to brag, but anybody I work with will tell you I'm the cleanest worker there. I sanitize everything every day before I touch anything. I have the cleanest keyboard because I sanitize it every day. I sanitize my mouse every day. The entire desk. I sanitize the armrests on the chairs because their elbows are on them. They were a little offended at first, but I don't care, and I kept doing it. And they eventually got used to it. I'm telling you, a lot of people in general are just nasty. The number of dogs in homes in the United States tells you that at least the majority of people in this country are straight up and down nasty.
Employees not washing up, fuzzy growth on vegetables. Going out to eat can make you sick to your stomach if your favorite restaurant doesn't keep a clean kitchen. Here's this week's all-new Dirty Dining Report.
The Root and Soul on 100th Street off Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale.
And look at these restaurants. You would think that restaurants like these are cleaner than, say, a McDonald's. Nope.
Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. 4 major health code violations. The health inspector found raw shrimp stored over ready-to-eat foods, standing water on the kitchen floor. The Embassy Suites Hilton Phoenix Scottsdale at 44th Street and Paradise Village Parkway in Phoenix. 4 violations. The health inspection report listed no paper towels at a hand wash sink, tomatoes with fuzzy white growth on them. Nothing but cakes at Indian School Road and 43rd Street in Phoenix. 4 violations. The health inspector uncovered an employee handling cake with his bare hands, a worker not washing her hands properly.
Man, I see stuff like this all the time. All the time. I don't see how people do it. These people are nasty. And think about it. Isn't it only, doesn't it make sense to assume that the majority of people who work in restaurants are nutters? Seeing that the majority of people in this country, nutters?
Restaurant failed an inspection after employees were seen not washing their hands.
Paul Shaheen has that and more in the restaurant report card.
It was an overall good week for restaurant scores in the area. However, one restaurant in Hamilton County received a failing score. Bojangles on Ringgold Road received a 68. Inspectors said employees did not wash their hands during the inspection. Liquid egg product was not being refrigerated properly, and the ice used to keep food refrigerated was melted sitting in standing water. There was also excessive carbon buildup on sheet pans and buildup of food debris on non-food contact surfaces, according to inspectors. Other observations by inspectors included inoperable hot water at the hand sink, water leaking from chemical dispenser at the sink, a dirty and unorganized mop sink, and inadequate.
This video, I think, surfaced today. Some Chick-fil-A worker losing her mind. She crashed out. Just straight up crashed out. But listen to what she said.
They spitting in the food. They not washing their hands.
Now you heard that. You heard her say they're not washing their hands. But did you hear what she said before that?
They spit in your food, honey.
She said they spit in your food.
They spit in your food, honey. They don't wash their hands. They not washing their hands. Ashley, get off. They spitting in the food. They not washing their hands.
Okay, there's some things to unpack there. They're not washing their hands. Sounds like she's seen that multiple times. This is not a one-time thing. They spit in your food and they're not washing their hands. I haven't eaten out at a restaurant, fast food or otherwise, I'm telling you, in well over a decade. I don't trust people, especially at these dining restaurants where you walk in, sit down, or you're seated, and these people see you before they make your food. Are you crazy? Some of you should really know better. Going out to these dine-in restaurants, picking up a menu. You got people coming over there looking at you. And I'm pointing that out because some people will spit in your food simply because of what you are. And y'all just willy-nilly trust anybody? Nasty. Over the top nasty. So I know some people will never stop eating out. You know, some people are programmed every morning. You hit the local McDonald's, get your McMuffin or whatnot. Maybe on the weekends, TGI Friday. You're locked into this pattern of going out to eat and trusting random people in the kitchen. Be careful. Be careful, people. That's coming from someone, like I said, who hasn't eaten out in well over a decade. I'm going to keep this one short. Good luck out there. I will see y'all on the next live.